I'm gonna pull up Discord here actually. Today we're going to be doing some game dev. We're going to look at game dev online. Work on, oh, Chasha says, working on game dev, looking at stuff online, playing some mobile games. Oops, that's the website. I meant to put Twitch. Oops. So how's it going, everybody? Just getting started. It's pretty warm here. Wow. Trying to mirror my phone, it always crashes at the beginning. Yes, one thing I want to do is like find people. Let's find some people who are advertising like their iOS games on Reddit. What's up, Mattman PS2? How's it going? Let me know if there's any updates on Hexstars, as always. I'll pull that up. Yeah, so I figure the game dev of Reddit is like reading the newspaper in the morning for me now. Let's go to mobile games. iOS gaming, that's a good idea for iOS. There is a Hexstars update, sweet. Mostly bugs and dino skin. Oh, sweet, a dino skin. So let's look up Hexstars. You're up to 1.1k ratings. Nice. You're back up to 106. More skins added in-app purchase to remove ads, bug fixes. What have you been playing lately and what do you recommend? So they do this every week. But then there's the actual channel. Okay, I see. This is a discussion in there. Yeah, fix the remove ads button ... hopefully. Yes, so I figure every stream, just play everyone's games. If anyone's got updates, either verbally or with their games, we go through all those. It's kind of a fun way to start each day, and then go to the game dev stuff in the communities. Was that the dino? I didn't think it was. Oops. Let me try to remove ads. Okay, yeah, so that opens up the $1.99 in-app purchase. I'm just gonna do that since I play this game a lot. I don't really want to show you my password though. Yay, it works. Let's go. Oops. Oh man, I'm playing weird. I wasn't holding the phone right. Don't feel the need, man. Appreciate it though. Yeah, no worries. I wasn't doing it because I needed it. I figure I play it every day. Might as well. A couple dollars. One-on-one. I'm curious how many people do that with this game specifically. Oops. Oh no, he's got the jetpack. Oops. So I love the strategy and like how you pick the hexagons. I picked them in such a way so that I could like go for a really long time. Oh man. Oh, the jetpack won him at the end. Is it as lag as it looks? I don't know. It's not. I don't know why. I think it's probably gonna crash this Let's Play thing. Let me just restart it. It was acting kind of weird before. This Let's View. I have to. Restart it sometimes. Let's see if we can get it a little better. Why's my internet so slow? Oh wow. Yeah, for some reason it's going really slow. It's like really behind. Even on my screen. Okay, this is the rare skin though, I'm guessing. I'm gonna do it. Put that to the side for now. Anyway, for now, let's, while we're figuring that out, let's go through this iOS gaming stuff. Tiny Thief. It has been removed from the App Store. It's one of the best games I've played. Try something. I don't know why Reddit is so slow. Like this computer is just kind of slow in general, but it's the best one for streaming for me. Okay, Chrome is loading it. I'm using Microsoft whatever whatever it's called. Let's go with Chrome. Oops. My game is laggy, or oh yeah, it's just Let's View. It's just Let's View for sure. I couldn't even on the Let's View. It was like so far behind on just my screen, let alone before the streaming. So it was totally just the. It was definitely just the Let's View app. Hex Stars is running beautifully on my phone. I'm gonna try restarting my phone. Maybe it's never been this bad before. One sec. It's laggy right now, but how do you get the dinosaur skin? Is it these? Is it? Oops. I thought that was the. Is this the dinosaur? Is that the dinosaur skin? The one where I have to. The one I just clicked on. There's one that's green, one that's pink. Yes, add view only skin. Nice. I dig it. This one's 5,900 coins. So you can get coins for watching an ad. Nice. Yeah, take this off because it's so laggy. Pays to remove ads and then watches the RV anyways. Oh, right. Dude, I'm a good consumer to have in these games, I guess. I like the sack you can put over your head. Oh, there's a halo. It's funny. Some good ones. Yeah, we'll give it some time. I don't know why it's so slow. I'll keep going. Have you been playing lately? What do you recommend? So I like that they do this post once a week on this channel. This is for iOS specific, so I can't advertise my game, but that's cool. I can find iOS games to play. But I guess if my Let's Plays are working, that's not good. Let me try restarting my phone. It's really warm. Okay, I thought this would go faster now. Okay, oh, now it's loaded. Stop. Please use this thread to discuss whatever iOS games you're playing. Oh, man. Any devs responded to your comments yesterday? Let's check. Oh, actually, this is probably not my account. Let me close this. Let's see. Messages. There's 4 unread messages. This is the only one that I think matters. Thank you. Do you have any link to the stream? Would love to see it. So as you said, I should have clipped it and sent it, probably. Wow, cool. Where can I find a recording your stream? Would be happy if you could leave a review on the Play Store. That's another thing I should always say. I've been doing that. Whenever I talk to someone who has an Android game, I always tell them, just give it 5 stars after I do that. Because I think they really like that. Okay, so we got 2 comments just asking us for links to the stream. And I thought I gave them, but maybe I think I just gave them my Twitch. So yeah, we got 2. And I didn't leave too many comments. Let's try to leave more today. I think the ones that responded both were ones where I played their game live on the stream and told them that. So that seems to be a far more successful approach to get people to care. I didn't leave it. I guess I had it in my profile. I was hoping they would go there, but I guess I should just include the link. I didn't want to seem like I was advertising too hard. Lots of people wanted to see your stream, though. Seems to show early signs of a successful strategy. Yeah, makes sense. Lots of people wanted to see your stream, though. Seems to show an essential strategy. Cool. Yeah, I think you're right. Are you talking about through Reddit specifically, or just in general? Now that they asked, it's appropriate to give them that link. Ah, okay, I see what you're saying. Good point. Yeah, that totally makes sense. So maybe I shouldn't give the link first time. I let them respond, and then those are people that are active anyway. And so now that they asked, we'll give that link. Yeah. So let's reply. Let's find. Oops. I'm gonna find a link to the actual part, and we'll create a little highlight, and then comment it. I'm gonna put up another Reddit tab. While I do this on the side. I just restarted my computer, and the internet's pretty slow for the web browsers. I'm hoping that sometimes it gets better for some reason. Wow, everything is so slow right now. Why is this happening? I'll use this other computer on the side that I have. It's faster. Okay. Let's also make sure we have access. BRB, good luck with the edit. Cool. See you in a bit. Matt, man, thanks for checking in. I'm gonna fucking take over Reddit right now. Yes, so anyone watching, feel free to interrupt me anytime, but I'm just gonna be kind of reflecting on the games I'm playing from this Reddit. And I'm also gonna be on the side clipping little pieces of stuff I'm recording and sending it their way. I want to be like the active mobile game reviewer of Reddit, of Twitch, or something like that. But the internet, why is it so freaking slow? What is going on? Let me close some of these tabs. Just gonna close everything. What else can I close? Let me close Let's Play. This is acting weird. Alright, let's see what's better now. So we are going to be just doing this for a bit, and then a little later we'll switch to game dev. Anyone feel free to interrupt me if you got something you want me to play or something to discuss about your game. I'm streaming Monday through Friday, starting at around 10 a.m. I've been doing it a little after 10 a.m. though. And I'm going to start streaming for a lot longer. I'm yesterday I streamed for like 6 hours, so I think that's what I want to do. So I can both play games and give feedback to games and do this marketing kind of stuff while also working on my own game on this stream. Okay, I've been seeing a lot about this Dash Arrow. I think we should play this game. I think they're a member also of our Facebook group. So let's try that. I think, did I download it yet? Let me see. Yeah, I did download it. Let's try Let's Play one more time. I'm hoping it works. I'm glad that it worked while we did our stream the last couple days. Oh, it's called Let's View. Redirect. All right. It's already a little slow. Oh well. Let's just try it. Dash Arrow. Okay, this is Dash Arrow. It's on, I think it's Android and iOS, but I'm playing on iOS. Okay, it's laggy. Why is it laggy? We gotta figure this out. Because the game is working. Let's see. I feel like my whole computer's just running a little slow for some reason though. I don't know. Let me look up Let's View and see if there's any troubleshooting we can do. But yeah, it looks really cool. Could try to download a new software, but I just feel like it'll be just as slow. Look at the options here. Yeah, this is just not gonna work today. Oh well. Let's try it later. So we're gonna try that Dash Arrow the second we can. Let's keep going down. That Deshare game was interesting, says Mattman. Archero meets something else. Yeah, I remember that game where you're shooting. Meets something else. I didn't look at it too closely, but I was like, is it? I don't think it's a PvP game, right? Like, there's something about it that looks like that style. Everyone talks about Genshin Impact. Maybe I should check that out sometime. Yes, I'm still trying to troubleshoot this Let's View. It's so laggy, and it would prevent me from playing these games. So if I can't get it to work, I might as well just try to do this later. Yeah, it's so laggy. I have it on my phone, but it is so slow. Yeah, something's messed up. Alright, let's just worry about that later. We can try it in a little bit. Moon Raider. Let's see, we can download the games we want to play at least. Moon Raider. Check this out. I was also thinking it'd be cool if like there were certain games that I told the developer like I'm doing this for my big Monday stream where I play indie mobile games for a few hours. Like then maybe I can get a bunch of people to try to attend at once. Maybe that'd be good for me. I'm not sure yet though. Moon Raider. That's some kind of platformer. Let me download it. Moon Raider. It's $5.99. Nope. So that happens a lot. I'm like yesterday, a couple times I commented like, "Oh, I'm gonna play this game on my stream," and then I looked at it and I'm like, "Oh, it costs money." Okay, never mind. Any game with a beautiful story. Emoji Pop, of course. Netmarble acquires rights. App Store and Game Center have been down for over an hour. What's the deal? Forsaken World. Best free idle game. Comments don't really load. I don't know why. Best management tycoon style game. Dynamic lighting and shadows in Genshin Impact. Let's do a time lapse. Just goes to show you, free to play is better than mobile for mobile right now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mentioned that example of like Threes versus 2048 and how Threes released at $2 and they didn't have any extra features. It was just a gameplay system. In 2048, it's like, okay, we'll do that for free and show players ads, and then they made like $1 bajillion off the idea. And then the developer of Threes even recognized, okay, we undervalued how big of an audience you can get with these kinds of mobile games if they're free. But he still refused to embrace common practices to make money. So, Creatures of Ether. There's a Samurai Jack game in Apple Arcade that some people like. It's free. Oh, it looks like a card game. I'm not really into card games. Help with the name of a couple games. I can do that. I had a couple great games on my phone. Oh, for remembering. I thought it was for naming a game. Your internet hella slow. Something is weird today. I'm hoping it gets better. I think that's why I was like, I think in like an hour, I think the internet could be better. I think it goes. I don't know. Yeah, that would explain why the Let's View wasn't working, because it is working through the Wi-Fi when it mirrors it. So yeah, for some reason it's slow right now. I think in like an hour or less it'll work. So some of the stuff we'll do later. Maybe I'll work on game dev more this morning to compensate. Great paid games. So let's kind of set up our game dev. And anyone interrupt me for any reason, but I'm just gonna start setting stuff up, and as the internet gets better, we'll switch to other stuff that we wanted to do. I just want to feel productive all the time. Sometimes when I restart my computer, like my computer just is slow somehow, and then it like warms up somehow. I don't know, but it's like a newer computer. Like, I don't get it. Let me do this on here. So I'm gonna start the developer, opening everything for the development of my game Emoji Pop, and we'll just keep switching between the Reddit stuff and working on the game a little bit. Ozone says streaming is pretty processor intensive. Is this a laptop or desktop? It's a laptop. It's a Lenovo Legion Y720. Looking at the sticker. Yeah, so what's up, Ozone? Yeah, it's a laptop. But I've been able to... I haven't had this bad of a problem in a while since I've started streaming regularly. So it's like today seems kind of like a blip almost. Let me check one thing. That made me think of something. I should be good. Hey, what's up, Kessels? Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us, everyone. So I'm just gonna be switching. I want to do some Reddit game playing stuff. The internet's a little slow, and only on my computer. Like, so we have a processor. So maybe I'll look into that. Maybe there's something I can do with the processor. I don't even know computers, honestly. I'm a horrible engineer. I'm not an engineer, really. I'll have to like Google around and see if I can like figure out if I can make it better. If this continues like more than an hour or so. Yeah, I'm kind of just looking through like new stuff about games, mobile games particularly, but I'm open to anything. Also working on my game. Feel free to drop anything in the Discord if you have like something you want to show or whatever. We can show it on here. I think someone messaged me about playing the game. I haven't messaged them back, but if you're watching, you can definitely send it my way and I'll play anything on the stream. Need to open up the code. Yeah, Kessels, anyone, feel free to share anything if you have any updates about the game. This is like our stand-up meeting time where we all say what we're working on if you happen to do anything. My game is just delayed for the next update. My game's just delayed for next a few more days. Okay, a few more days, that's cool. Delays happen in game dev. It's like a live thing, you know, you gotta roll with the punches. Knowing computers and being a software engineer are very different things in my opinion. IT is not software engineering. That statement that I made proves that I am neither knowledgeable in computers, IT, or software engineering. Thank you for proving that with logic. Exclamation mark equals. See, that shows that I'm a JavaScript coder. That's like my job title, if that job exists anywhere. I guess it does in some places. I like being in game. I like having the skill of coding. I never wanted to like be an engineer or really know computers, because that makes sense. They're two different things. either of those things don't really interest me. I just saw programming as a means to make games, which I thought were the coolest thing ever to make. And so that's kind of like, I like being a game designer that can code. I think all more game designers should be able to code in order to like make things and work. I don't know. I think it just makes sense. Game design and coding is integrated for a video game. My update: still working on Vineyard Valley for JC, like I do every day. Haha. Interesting. Yeah, I would ask you more like if you're enjoying what you're doing and stuff like that, but I don't want to like be prying into like your life on live stream just in case you don't want that. It's just, yeah, it's funny because we both have worked there. Yeah, I've a lot to say about that company, like good and bad, and just like interesting stuff, but I just don't know what I should say. New step. Okay, so we were working on the daggers stuff. Let's work on something else though. Haha, I'm down to hear it all, says Ozone. Yeah, oh man, I just had such a crazy experience there. Like, it was interesting. But like some of the stuff that involves like stuff that could be seen as like proprietary information kind of, or like things that happened there with like my boss and stuff like that were just really crazy and weird. It's like, I don't know. But like all I can really say is maybe on Discord talk about it for sure you can get your work done. Thank you for encouraging me, Ozone, to get my work done. But yeah, it was just super. The thing I'll say is that like it just taught me so much about business and the way the way companies should run. The whole thing. It wasn't just about my boss, people I worked with. Dylan got involved with sex scandal. No, that's definitely not what I was talking about. It was just like your normal kind of management stuff. But it just taught me so much about like I learned so much about game design just by making levels all the time, obviously. And then I remember I had this day. I just got back from like a flight, and I had worked at the company for like a year, and I was thinking about level design and all this other game design stuff, and like I feel like all of a sudden it was clicking to me like the psychology of mobile casual gamers, and I was understanding how these games work, and I was understanding all of a sudden everything was kind of just like coming to me. And then like, so that's one kind of thing that I learned a lot. I learned about game design, like applied game design, and that's something I didn't really experience before, just like in my own games. But and then like how companies should run and how companies should make games, and like there's this really great book. It's called Creativity Inc. It's a red book because I lost the freaking cover for it, but it's by Ed Catmull, and he was one of the founders of Pixar, and he was like an engineer that started this company, and he learned so much about how to run a creative business, and it's all about like giving them the room to explore and putting them in the position to succeed, and not like hardwiring. You don't want to constrain the creative people. You want to let them grow. And he went from engineer to being a manager, and he saw his job as to like help the creativity everywhere. And that involves not like demanding creative people do certain things in certain ways. I'm adding that book to my list as Ozone. Yeah, I really recommend it. I love it because it's such a true thing that's been established in another industry. So this Ed Catmull from Pixar, he went on to Disney when Disney was really sucking at the box office with their animated movies, and he said, I'm going to apply the same principles that I applied at Pixar at Disney. And he had to fight really hard to make sure that he had the creative freedom to do that, and that because Disney's always like, what about this? Oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Movies have to be this way, that way. They just let their creative, smart people that were really engrossed in these problems, they put them in the position to succeed, and then now they're like frozen. I think this is the studio that just made all these crazy movies, or I don't even know. Mammon 2, also agree about the sex scandal until I see evidence proves otherwise. Oh man, yeah. Yeah, definitely not the case. That's all I can really say about that. Yeah. It's that there's a lot of, I don't know. This is my first long-term work experience as well at like a real company like that as well. So like the real like scandal was just like the politics of it all, like, and not just like all these people, like, I don't know. There's a lot of politics, and it's, I don't know. I feel like if they were given more creative tasks and agency, maybe they won't have as much time to be worrying about other stuff. I don't know. Like, it's just, I saw that companies like Jam City could be a place that snuffles good ideas, that it actually shoots itself in the foot. That's how I see these companies operating sometimes. I've seen things that they do that literally, I'm like, this is literally like hurting ourselves so much. Like, why are we doing this? And it's so complicated though. Like, and the politics is like part of it. It's like, I don't know. It's so complicated. This is a problem I've thought about so much about. And I'm really passionate about, because like that was how I want to start my own company someday, or like at least something small, And so I'm thinking about how I can, like, I don't know. That was like the experience that made me think, like, if this is how this company is running, like, I could probably do this myself. Like, it kind of gave me the confidence a little bit in some way. Yeah, let me focus on this. So feel free to interrupt me for whenever. Let me keep coding though. So I need to finish these reward loops. Let me put a fruit in there so we can test it. But yeah, definitely let me know what you think of that book, because as I said, it's like something that is in a totally different creative industry, but when reading it, it's like, oh wow, like this really applies. And there's maybe some parts you can skip about, maybe a little bit about the history of Pixar if you're not totally interested in that, but like it was so fascinating because I'm like, oh, this is totally applicable in our industry. It's crazy. Let me see if I can find something. So look at this. This is an article from Forbes, and there were magazines all over the office with this article in it at the time. Chateau Cremalot is a digital fortress of giant wafers, dipped cones, and marshmallow swirls. It's one of those several desert islands where the bright-eyed Chef Panda solves puzzles with oh, the way this is written is just annoying. It's like about a stupid puzzle game. Sounds silly, but it's serious business. Chef Panda is the star of Cookie Jam Blast, a new game by Jam City, a 7-year-old mobile game company. So note that. A 7-year-old mobile gaming company. It's a spin-off of Jam City's most successful franchise, Cookie Jam, which has been downloaded more than 100 million times. Generated $500 million in revenue since 2014. And so CEO, co-founder Chris DeWolf says, we expect Cookie Jam to be around 50 years from now. So this is at the very beginning of the article, and I read that and my jaw dropped. I was like, now the way things operate kind of makes sense. These corporate companies kind of operate a certain way, and these CEOs are expecting these properties and these kinds of games to be around 50 years from now. This is a 7-year-old company. Free-to-play games have been popular since 2011, and my theory is that companies... Hi, I don't have audio on this PC, by the way, just thought I'd pop in for the visuals. Hey, what's up, Valorware? I recognize you from our... This person doesn't have audio, so I don't know why I'm talking to them. I'll just message. So yeah, we expect... Hey, says Kessels. Hello, Zozone. So, this is a 7-year-old company. My theory is that a lot of these free-to-play mobile gaming companies that emerged around the time of 2011 to 2014, they got in on the ground at a time where there were very few competitors. And so Candy Crush became popular in like 2011. And so it became popular in 2011. And so for a few years, these giant developers got a really great head start on the competition at a time when there was no regulation of stuff. For example, Facebook allowed companies to share stuff all over the place, and so that was really responsible for their growth, the growth of games like Farmville. So companies like Zynga and King and all these companies, I think they've made billions of dollars, as this article states, from these early games. And so I think these companies have just become complacent with that success, and they think that they just need to keep replicating that success, and they're not thinking outside the box. Not just Jam City. This is all these developers. And I've seen instances where they do think outside the box. So I've seen King release certain games where I'm like, oh, you are going after a different audience in a really unique way, and you're really thinking through the mobile game experience. Like, so there are instances where I see progress, but I think overall this is a dangerous thing, and this is the kind of thing that Ed Catmull pointed out in his Creativity Inc. These companies, and this is something that Steve Jobs also talks about. One of the biggest contributors to Pixar's success financially. Steve Jobs said, if you are in your company and the leads are just talking about nailing down the process, that's the key word. If they're saying process, we have to cement the process. We have to finalize and perfect the process. That's all they're worried about. Then your company is now focusing not on the ideas, not on gaining ground, not on looking to the future. It's focused on the past, on replicating the past. And I think in a brand new industry that hasn't even been around for 10 years, really, a 7-year-old company is saying that their game about mindlessly swiping cookies, they believe this is going to be around for 50 years. So obviously there's also a magazine, so maybe the Jam City co-founder is just saying hyperbolic things or something, you could argue. But to me, like, this suggests a mentality of backwards thinking, of not understanding why your games are successful. That's why so much emphasis is put on intellectual IPs, giant intellectual IPs like Harry Potter or whatever IP is popular this year, and their older IPs, and Candy Crush keeps doubling down on their IPs. They think it's the IP, but I think that's going to fade away. And especially, so if you think about 50 years from now, that means you think I'm going to be like 76 years old in 50 years. Do you think people like me are going to be playing Candy Crush, and people in my children's generation, do you think they're going to be playing Cookie Jam 50 years from now, like as adults? Like, I think that there's going to be a lot of changes that occur in the next 10 years, not even talking about 50 years, like the mobile industry will probably completely transform in 10 years. Jam City is doing this internal game design competition. That's awesome. I remember everyone used to talk about how they did game design. They did game dev, like they do like half a day where they would do game jams. That's what I'm talking about. So anyone in the company can submit a game idea. They're trying to find new ideas that way. Of course, they also want a portfolio of stable, safe games. Yeah, so I remember working there, and every year they would, it wasn't seen as a competition, but they would ask people to pitch games. But to me, it seemed like it was like the higher up people that are trusted pitch safe games that they know that the higher ups want to hear. Maybe that's changed though. But like, if you really, I think that's a great course of action. Like, if you really, like, one thing that you can do to challenge this kind of corporate like settling is if you really think through your idea and you like pitch it to them, and really clearly state why everything is the way it is and why what you're doing is different than the way things have been done in the past or whatever. Or I think whatever your idea is, I think you could totally like disrupt within the company. Like, that's something that really I found exciting to try to do when I was there. But yeah, so they want a certain, like, it makes sense. I think to me it's like we should make games that make money. What's the best way to do that? And as designers, we have tons of like theories about kind of games we can make and how to tie them in, and to me that should be our metric of safe. Not is it the same, is it what is our confidence that this game can make money based on the explanation. And I think one of the biggest problems at these companies is that because they don't trust their senior game designers to really create new games that are unique and different, because they don't trust them, then they're never given the experience to pursue new territory, and because of that they're probably not going to come up with the best ideas. So it's like this infinite cycle of you can't trust your workers to pursue ideas they think are good, and that makes them inexperienced enough so that you're right that they can't pursue these new ideas. So there needs to be someone or some people with like a really clear vision and a really clear understanding of the psychology of these kinds of games, with the focus on making games that make money and that are really fun and engaging, and being confident in their decisions and their vision enough that they're not suckered into just copy pasting things from other games. And it's hard to do that when you have like a bunch of executives at the top that come from like, Fox 21 or whatever, and they're viewing this as a business. That's how they're making the design decisions, not and you have people who think Cookie Jam is going to be around 50 years from now. They're probably not going to understand why you're doing things differently, because Cookie Jam's gonna be around for 50 years from now. So I think this kind of highlights, I think there's a little bit of a bubble kind of around all these mobile gaming companies, but we'll see. I also don't know what the heck I'm talking about, on some level. I don't know much about business or anything. I just know about game design, mobile game design a little bit, and JavaScript. But yeah, that's my random tangent for the day. Let's see if like Reddit's working a little better now. Maybe I need to just close this and open it again. Yeah, thanks to everyone for checking in and watching the stream and communicating in the Discord and Facebook groups. So that's why I'm really excited to be an indie game developer, because I had a really not crazy experience, but I had a pretty interesting experience working at Jam City, and now I'm like really into indie game design, and I see that I can do what a whole team does to a lesser degree. Like, there's a lot of waste, I think, at these kinds of companies, and I realized as a designer that can code, like, I can just do it myself and pick a kind of game that I can do the art for myself as well. And then I don't have anyone constraining my ideas. I can make like a fully thought through mobile game. And I've talked about, like, look at the bubble shooters. I've made videos on YouTube at Emoji Popcast about how the bubble shooters at all of these corporate companies are really poorly designed, because they're skill-based games that use the saga map model, and those inherently contradict each other, and make it hard to make a good game and make it hard to make a game that makes money, which is why I think bubble shooters are more engaging. They should be making a little bit more money than match 3s, or maybe somewhat close to that amount, but they make like a very small fraction of what match 3s make, and I think that's because they're not being designed correctly. And I think the reason that these companies aren't able to diverge from their normal design that match 3s use is because, again, they're in this copy-paste mentality. They're not really they don't understand how these games work. They got so much success in 2011 through 2014 that they think that they can just replicate that, or whatever, modified by whatever trend is popular now, which is probably like, there's a world like in Gardenscapes you go through, like those are slight modifications of the trend. They're not like new territory to themselves, I would argue. This is just regular Reddit. What am I doing? I am not logged in anymore. So yeah, my dream is to make a game that challenges the dominance of these mobile puzzle game developers like King and Zynga and the rest of them. But I think working within these companies and affecting change is even more impressive if you're able to do that, or just as impressive, and it's just as possible for sure, depending on the situation. Somehow I forgot my password. One second here. Oh, let's see. It's taken a while to... trying to get on Reddit. It's like so slow, it's pissing me off. We're just gonna have to work on the game right now. So yeah, speaking of these corporate developers, here's my version of a corporately made puzzle game traditionally. If it loads... maybe there's a bug. That's weird. So I'm not sure. This might be. Let me try logging out. So there's something that's not loading the game. It might be because I left it in a bad state. So let me. If I clear the browsing data, it'll log me out. Maybe not. We'll go to playmojipop.com. You know, I might have to just stop the stream and fix this because it's not working. This internet is really messed up. I'm gonna end the stream for a little bit and I'm gonna be back in a little bit once I figure some stuff out.